Okay, so before getting into the different strategies for dealing with conflict, I wanted to talk today about a question that came up last night about can you realize emptiness through through seeing that the self-grasping isn't present. Okay, and so as I was trying to explain last night, that you can't identify what the self-grasping is, you know, by seeing where it's not, because to identify where it's not, you have to know what it is. Okay, so you have to know what it is to identify when the self-grasping isn't there in the mind. But the way to realize emptiness isn't just realizing the absence of self-grasping. That's the result of realizing emptiness. When you're realizing emptiness, what you want to do is negate the apprehended object of the self-grasping. Okay? So you're not just trying to get your mind to feel like there's no self-grasping, because sometimes when you attain very deep states of concentration, or when you're meditating on the conventional nature of the mind can be very subdued. The self-grasping isn't manifest. Many people mistake that for having attained realization of emptiness. But they haven't realized emptiness. It's just that the self-grasping is lying low. Okay? So the only way to eliminate the self-grasping is to realize that the object it grasps at, what's called its apprehended object, does not exist. That's the only way to get rid of the self-grasping. It's the only way to realize emptiness. So since that object, the apprehended object of self-grasping is inherent existence, since that is appearing to us sentient beings all the time in every single perception we have, we can't just say, I identify it by seeing when it's not there, because that object, inherent existence, is always appearing to our mind. Okay? So the only way to prove to ourselves that what is appearing in fact does not exist is to identify that appearance and then ask ourselves, if it existed, then, you know, things should be like X, Y, and Z, and see if things are like X, Y, and Z. When we examine it, we find out that if things truly existed, things couldn't be this way. Okay, so then the alternative is you negate the true existence. Okay? So it's like, if things truly existed, then they would be permanent. Well, things aren't permanent, so they can't all be truly existent. Okay? So you have to approach it through that kind of route. Through, you know, Jay Rinpoche is very strong on identifying the object that is apprehended by the true existence, and then proving to ourselves that that object cannot exist, even though it's appearing to us. Okay? So that's the way to do it. And like I said, we can't do it any other way, because the false object is always appearing to us. So we can't identify it by it's not being there, because it's always there. And in terms of the grasping at that false object, which is different than the false object, okay, we can't identify it from when it's not there, because you can't tell something's existence when it's not there unless you know what it looks like when it's there. Okay? So that's why things have to be approached in this particular way. Okay?